Hello everybody and welcome to What's My Role? My name is Ben Marguerite and I'm your host and Dungeon Master. With me as always are our players Tom, Isaac, Nathan, and Hamish. And we are a D&D 5th edition actual play podcast recorded and produced in beautiful Hong Kong. Now this is our first ever episode, and in all honesty, the session you're about to hear ran a bit longer than expected at the table, so we decided to split it into two parts. Our story is set in the town of Brighthallow, a silver mining town east in the country of Palantis. It is a town split by wealth, class, and intrigue, separated into two districts, Bright Gardens and the Lower Hallows. The Bright Gardens is an immaculate district where the well-to-do privileged citizens live, while the Lower Hallows is a run-down derelict area where the poor working-class citizens call home. And living in Brighthallow, we also have our team of 4 adventurers. First up is Garrett Margrave, a working-class human artificer, tinkerer, and apprentice toymaker. Next is a Mr. Tom Hanks, no relation, a mild-mannered human teacher of literature at Hallows High School. Finally, there's Falorhana Elamyar, a wealthy half-elven socialite sorcerer, and her adopted brother Tobin Elamyar, a forest gnome wizard and proprietor of Magical Ornamental Trinkets, a high-end shop for magical decor. When our story begins, Falorhana has established a new organization in town, dedicated to protecting and serving the Lower Hallows, the wrong side of town, the place that the official Town Watch rarely goes. She's called her group the Neighborhood Watch Association. So far, the only people to take up her offer to join her have been her brother Tobin and Garrett Margrave. Well, that's about it. So without further ado, we welcome you to our table. Relax, take a seat, and enjoy What's My Role? Neighborhood Watch, Episode 1, Part 1. Let's begin. We'll start with Falorhana Elamyar. Describe your character for us.
Yes, would probably be waking up in my happy marital home. I'm probably asleep in the library. I didn't want to go to bed with my dear husband, Leo Van Hagen. I had enough of him this week. I, of course, dress with the common folk, although I can't help a bit of ostentatious decoration. Today I happen to be wearing very fine robes, as well as a beautiful necklace, which is from my mother, which shows a solar system rotating in a pendant in the middle.
As you're getting ready to leave the house to start your day, your house is not a mansion, but it's fairly comfortable. Quite a nice location. And in the front awning, in the front area of the house, there is a little card there for you.
All right, I'll pick it up, have a look at it.
It's a letter from Leo, your husband, saying that he hopes to catch you at dinner tonight. He knows that you have your gathering that you've scheduled, but there will be a dinner after the council meeting tonight, and he's hoping to see you there. He signs his name, Love, Leo.
Lovely. What time has he said to turn up?
It's pretty much at 8 p.m.
Great, I'll turn up there at 8:30, scrunch up the message, pass it over to the gardener and say, get rid of this, thank you very much, as I head out.
Meanwhile, across town, Nathan, can you describe your character for us?
Sure, I'm pretty short as gnomes go. I don't wear anything too special. As I do come from wealth, my clothes are quite nice, but I don't want to stand out, so no bright colors, unlike kind of my sister likes to show off a little bit. I also have a necklace. This one's slightly different. I've had it ever since I was little. I'm not sure where it came from. Has a little carving of a very unusual tree. It seems like a constellation above it. I'm not quite sure what it means or where it came from, but I keep it quite close to me at all times. I wake up, kind of put on my shop apron, have a quick breakfast, and kind of prepare the shop. I test out a few of my spells as we sell kind of magical trinkets that we want to look nice. Maybe a music box with a ballerina, make it sparkle a little bit. Kind of test out to make sure it's ready for customers. And I get ready for a new shipment, which we're expecting. Hoping it comes with something a little bit more special, with real magic, hopefully. But we'll see as it goes.
Now, tonight, both you and your sister have a meeting scheduled for the Neighborhood Watch organization. Across town, we have another shop, Mr. G's home of Tinker Toys, where we meet another one of our players. Tom, can you describe Garrett for me?
Garrett is a human, male, 19 years old. He's quite skinny and gangly looking. Pretty average height. He wears glasses that have been repaired a number of times. He's a little bit hunched over, quite poor posture, because he is always leaning over a workbench, when he's tinkering and doing his work. He's always hunched over, and that's had a real effect on him now. Day to day, he usually wears pretty simple clothes, cloth pants, shirt, maybe like a leather vest and leather boots, that sort of thing. He is quite poor, and he comes from the very poor part of town, so he dresses accordingly.
And finally, across town in the lower Hallows, the more poor area of town, we see Tom Hanks getting up for his day. Isaac, can you describe Tom Hanks for me?
Happy to be here. Happy to do that. Tom Hanks lives, as you said, in the poor part of town and a small little house. And when he gets out of bed, he's got his little dog, Mr. Pibbs, gives him a pat on the head and gets some water for his cactus needles and pours a little bit of water there, and then gets dressed and then prepares for school, dressed in kind of a semi-professional attire, cardigan, jacket, kind of like Mr. Chips, if you've ever seen that. Goodbye, Mr. Chips. And carries a leather-bound messenger bag. He's a little bit on the bigger side for a human guy, but he's just happy to be alive, happy to teach down at Hallows High and inspire students on a daily basis.
Love it. Tom, when you arrive to the outside of the school, this is Tom Hanks. I'm going to refer to characters. Oh, I knew this was going to be confusing.
As soon as
Isaac,
you said, I was like,
I'll say Tom Hanks.
Oh, no, the other one.
Mr. Hanks, the teacher, as you arrive to Hallow High School. Yeah, give me the first roll of what's my roll? Roll a d20, and I want to know a perception check.
Okay, I rolled a 10.
Middling.
Yeah, right in the middle.
Yeah.
And you add your perception.
Yep. Like I said, I know, Ben. I'm super seasoned. Let me just find that here.
It's one of those professionals.
Oh, plus one. 11.
11. Cool. Hey, man, that's
Makes a mighty big difference
the
there.
minimum amount you needed was a DC 10 to notice this. So, well done.
Lucky me.
You won D&D. Congratulations.
Just an average person would notice this. Is
Retire
what it would be.
now.
As you're heading into school, you see someone furiously trying to scrub the sides of the walls, and you notice that is the principal, Crespin Ironspine, a male dwarf. He's dressed in similar attire to you, but he's actually wearing one of those sweater vests. He's about 200 years old, and he's balding on the top of his head. So he has braids coming off of the sides, but he looks, if anything, like an irritated George Costanza if they were a dwarf. And you see as he's scrubbing the walls.
I want to walk over and say, "Good morning, Mr. Ironside. How you doing?"
Hanks, what are you doing? Are you late? Oh, sorry, I'm flustered because look at the wall. All these vandals every day, they're coming into town and they're coming up to our school and they're just leaving these obscenities. And you see on the wall there's a lot of just total obscenities, like fuck Hallows High and fuck the Lower Hallows and this town sucks. But it's clearly written by teenagers and it's painted on the walls. As he kind of turns to you and he's just like, well, are you gonna help or are you just gonna go into class?
I'd be more than happy to help you there, Mr. Ironside. What can I do for you?
Well, grab a cloth
okay.
and start washing.
Well, I'd like to
These kids today, they're using these non-magic resistant paints, so you can't just prestidigitate this thing off.
You gotta admire their ingenuity. I gotta tell you.
Do you gotta admire it?
I mean, they seem to be very well on the cutting edge. The kids today, I wish I knew what they knew.
Hanks, I didn't know it before, but you irritate the shit out of me.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, Mr. Ironside. I'll do my best to...
You know what? Why don't you finish this up? You do it, you clean it up.
Happy to do it.
Great. Okay.
Happy to do
But
it.
don't be late because we got our first classes coming up. I'm sure I have to go inside and kind of deal with some stuff. Thank you for taking this off my hands. I'm glad that I could bully you into this job.
No problem. I'll finish it toot sweet, as the French say.
Wonderful.
I pick up whatever cleaning implements are there and begin scrubbing the profanities off the wall.
Yeah, literally, it's just soapy water kind of scrubbing off this still wet paint. Give me an investigation check. These are all the skills you are not the... Probably not the top for you, but...
15
Okay.
plus 0.
15 plus 0. I will say this. Hallows High is misspelled. Whoever did this is not an ace student. If they are a student, they are not fully super literate.
What a shame. What a shame.
Couldn't that be anybody at this school?
It could
Yeah,
be.
hate to
There's
see
this school doesn't have like the greatest
Including the teachers.
matriculation rate.
Is there any other, like, indicators?
For a 15, unfortunately not.
Nah,
That's the most
dang
you
it.
get. The most you get is that if it were a student, you could probably identify it as either it's a student that is not a star student or someone who's pretending to be not a star student.
Okay.
As you're kind of looking at that, you hear off on the side, Mr. Hanks?
Yeah, who's there?
It's you say that as you, I assume, turning to the side to see who it is.
I'm really upset. I'm cleaning here. I don't want to take my eyes off my work.
Got it. You know this student. This is Francis McDermott.
Francis.
It's a 17-year-old boy, a human. He's standing there with some books as he turns to you and says, do you need some help? I know I have first period, but I could probably, be a little late.
Oh, that's so nice of you, Francis. You really don't have to do that. I mean, I wouldn't want you to miss your class. Are you sure you have time?
I mean, probably not, but I'd be happy to help.
All right, Francis. Here, why don't you pick up I think there's another sponge or something in the bucket. Maybe you can help me start scrubbing.
Sounds great.
Why don't you tell me about what you've been reading there?
What have been reading there? I mean, you assigned it us Lucinander's Leaves. It's a great read. I loved it. I thought that twist ending in the end, where it turned out that the whole town were just trees, it was crazy.
Yeah, and the real metaphor there is that if you don't protect nature, you're the ones who suffer.
Who suffers,
Yep,
yes.
that's right. You got it.
Yeah.
Francis, you're such a good student. I can't tell you how grateful I am to have you in my class.
As you're having that moment, you hear off in the side, walking into class, like, nerd! As you see...
Some sort of horse person.
That's great.
Whoa, you can't say that about them. They're their own race, man.
You say centaur.
Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah, you see this kid who has full brown mullet hair with constantly sooty, grimy skin and a leather jacket. Willow Crack walking past, just like calls out nerd as a few of their friends kind of snicker and laugh with them. You see a few other students as they all walk in laughing at Francis and you chatting.
Don't pay any attention to him, Francis. Willow is a troubled child, and I tell you, I'm gonna get through to him one of these days.
I mean, he's been held back, like,
well, it's taken a
4
couple
years.
tries, but I still have a lot of hope for the future. I think that
at some point you feel like they're as old as you or as the teachers. It's kind
he's
of
pretty close.
Yeah.
Actually. But
Is it like in Greece where the high school students, but they're all like 40?
You mean like every US TV series is 40 years old?
But I think I still have hope for him, Francis. Sometimes it's just as simple as showing a little kindness, and their hearts they open right up. They open right up.
Okay. Well, thanks, Mr. Hanks.
I'll
try and do that. I'll try and show kindness to these bullies.
You never know. You never know what's in there, Francis.
You give the best advice. I'm excited for your class.
Oh, thanks, kiddo.
As we have that heartwarming moment, we kind of cut away from these two cleaning up the side of the school and the vandalism that's occurred. We go over to Mr. G's home of Tinker Toys. Garrett, setting up for your day. What are you doing?
So Garrett's kind of got like a sweet roll in between his teeth as he puts on this leather apron and ties it around out the front, and he's kind of getting the shop ready for the day. Mr. Galterius is, he would be handling a lot of the front of house stuff, whereas Garrett would be kind of getting ready for the back of house things. He's laying out his tools that he needs, all the different ones that he's going to need for the day. He's probably got like a pile of toys that are, in need of repair, like the, to be fixed box. And, there's a few different ones sitting around labeled with different things like beyond repair, salvage, and things like that.
Yeah, you hear the bell of someone entering the shop, and you know, based on the hour, that's probably Mr. Galterius, Mr. Jerome Galterius, an elderly human, an elderly man. He's got this bushy white beard that's grown in such a way that it's attempting to hide this massive scar on the side of his face, but he has a kind of friendly, that kind of jovial feeling to him.
Yeah.
He's wearing, tinkerer apron. He's putting it on as well. Even though he takes care of the front of house, it is something that he's proud of. He likes to tinker. He used to be an adventurer in his younger days, but he's grown a little paunchy since then.
Yeah, a little bit more stout.
As he walks in, you hear him call out, "Garrett!
Yeah, I'm just out the back, Mr. G.
Garrett, you got a there was a letter left for you.
What?
There was a letter left for you."
I kind of come out to the front of the shop. Can I have it?
Sure.
Oh, thanks. What's it
Go
look
get
like?
it
Next time, you should just tell your friends that they can, place it in the mailbox like normal people. It's like they're trying to be secretive or something.
What? No, I'll tell them.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I'm gonna do my business,
Okay.
which is getting the store ready.
Yeah.
When you're done taking your personal time reading the letter, you can get back to work.
No, I was doing.
I'm
Did you
just
call-
kidding.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna head back out the back now.
Right. I expected that.
Okay. As I'm going, I kind of
Yeah.
look at the letter and.
Yeah, it's sealed in kind of a wax. It's like an attempt at trying to be secretive, as if it's like a spy message. But you recognize this kind of letter immediately. This is the style of communication that your hobby, your role-playing group that you join as your hobby, the game of Lairs and Liches, a legally distinct game that you play in this world where you pretend to be heroes and going about in your days, rolling dice to see what might happen. It's a letter that's written from a specific layer master.
Ooh, yes. Would that be Paige?
That is right. That is Paige.
I crack the seal. Run my finger under it.
It's lovely ornate calligraphy. And the letter is basically saying to you that they missed you last week. They held the session without you. They assumed your character wasn't going to be joining that adventure that day. They wanted to know if you were going to show up tonight or if you were going to be missing again, because if that's the case, and it just kind of dot.
Yeah, tonight's not great for me. Oh.
And it kind of ends
says
like
to the
that.
paper.
Yeah, as you say to the paper. So yeah, your adventuring group, your Layers and Liches group, missed you last week.
I was off, of course, at the neighborhood watch meeting. Okay.
So you got to make a choice. Are you going to show up there? Or are you going to let them know?
I think, they probably have to finish that adventure anyway, so I think maybe I'll catch the next one.
Cool. We're going to pan away as we cut over to Fellerhana. You know that there is a neighborhood watch meeting, an organization that you founded tonight, and around the same time as this town council meeting. And you are expected
After for
dinner
with
a
my
dinner
lovely husband.
with the town council or those that are having dinner together at the Siren Song.
Yeah. I think for most of the day, it will be going from doing my route, as it were, through all the various social gatherings with various people, like meeting each of the many, many clubs and groups I'm associated with. I definitely want to keep an eye out for Galit Stonebrook, another rich, affluent lady in the town, whose fellow family member, I believe, is on the town council. And I'm trying to gather useful... I've heard the word intel thrown around is very good for certain law enforcement organizations, so I'm going to try to gather a bit of intel on how the Town Watch has been doing since it's a new mandate for basically ignoring a lot of problems. See what's going on in the town and see if I can pick up any juicy tidbits, maybe a thing that we can do so we can start tonight's NWA thing on the right foot. So we have something that we might be able to go help with or investigate.
Yeah, give me an investigation check.
Sure thing. Oh, my investigation is terrible. 12.
12. Okay. So you find out a couple of things. In terms of the Town Watch, there's been a new initiative that they're voting on tonight to have a Town Watch commissioner, someone to adjust and control and kind of redirect the use of the Town Watch. You know that from kind of discussing with people at the club. Mm-hmm. You also find out that there's a little bit of a fight that's coming up between members of the city council. There's going to be an archaeological dig in the forest. People are trying to research the town's roots. This is the 500th anniversary of the town joining the town of Brightmoor and the town of Goldenhallow joining together. And the local university, Brightmoor University, one of the professors there wants to do a dig to find a few items that were buried to seal the pact of joining the towns together. The town council members from the lower Hallow, or the poor area, object to this. You find this out because they're disturbing some religious sites over there. The more wealthy, affluent don't believe in that kind of superstition. They believe in Lathander, Brightmoor's patron god, the person who founded the northern town. So that's what's going to be voted on tonight.
For the people who are going for the commissioner position for the town watch, would I have got an inkling of who might be angling for that?
On the roll that you got, it seems like they're going to appoint it. It's not going to be elected on. It's just going to be an appointment by the town council. And at this point in time, the one thing you do know was that this commissioner post was created and brought forward as new business by your husband. Your husband has put it forward as this is a way to make the town safer.
Well, we shall see if he can actually do something for once, but great. Good.
Yeah.
I'll, with all the various meetings, I'll be very, very happy and cheery with them, very excited about all this new, big celebration coming up. Can't wait to see how we can be a good part of it, and what new things are going to come forth for this town. As I'll definitely, one detour I'd like to make is to pop into the university library and like to pick up a book or see if they have something on magical currencies, something for Garrett, since he showed off some magic he could do with items.
Yeah, because Garrett came to your meeting a week ago, the first ever meeting of the Neighborhood Watch organization that you started, a competing organization to the Town Watch.
I think the day earlier, I requested you to see if you could get a book for me. So I'm not allowed to go into the restricted area, the library.
Of course,
I didn't go to university, so I'm looking for some books on magic or symbols, things like that.
Symbols? I'll get a book. Ask if they have something on, what do they call it, a rune craft or something, and something on magical currencies or something.
Yeah, as you head into the library, it's this massive domed building that's connected to the Brightmoor University. It's the Brightmoor University Library, and you see a female half-elf. She has kind of soft bluish tint to her skin. Her name is Shira Lorith, and she's a librarian.
Hello there, Shira. How are you this fine day?
Oh, I'm fine. Just, it's been a quiet day here.
Oh, well, you won't mind me taking a bit of your time then. I'm looking for a couple of books for my dear brother.
Right.
Do you have anything related to... I'll take out a list, and related to rune craft and anything to do with magical items, magical currencies? He's very into these kind of things as well,
Is this for you?
Sure. Oh, I'll go
because
through my bag.
Of course, I would love to let anyone check out books, but there's pretty strict rules about that.
Of course. Well, I do have my library card here. Don't worry, under my name, my security guarantees it.
Right, of course. Well, let me see. I see in our catalogue here we have, yes, of course, the Bari fragments.
Oh, good.
Yes, a few simple runes and symbols might be of interest. It is written in Draconic, so I'm not sure.
Not a problem, not a problem.
And in terms of magical currency, or just currency in general, there is the Glennon Esoterica. Both of these are in the restricted section.
Oh, would that be a problem for my current membership?
I wouldn't be allowed to let you check out both. You could read them here, if you wish.
Tell you what, I'll get the book on runecraft to go, and I'll the other one I'll have a quick flick through here. I'm sure that will be useful.
Right, of course.
You wouldn't happen to know, of course, with the celebration coming up, you wouldn't have anything on the founding of the town so many years ago. I want to be a bit read up for the celebration.
No, if you wanted to learn about that, I assume you could go to the Archaeology and History Department.
Oh, good. A very, very good note. Thank you. I'll take a look at the books then. I'll get the runecraft one now, if you don't mind.
You can spend some time looking at that book if you wish. She gets the book for you.
Yeah, the runecraft one straight in my bag. The other one I will make a note of looking at chapter headings, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Just like, that's cool. Some keywords. Oh, great. That's enough to talk about, I'm sure.
Hell yeah.
Leave that.
Awesome.
And I'll head out.
Wonderful. Okay, so it's later in the day. We go over to magical ornamental trinkets. Tobin. It's been a slow day, but about halfway through your day in the afternoon, you do hear the familiar sound of someone opening the door and walking into your shop.
Oh, hi. How can I help you?
This is a muscular, tall Goliath. As they walk in, you see they kind of turn to you and they're looking around the shop.
Hi. Down here. Hi. Can I help you? Welcome to my shop.
Yeah, I'm looking for...
Are you looking for like a music box, a dancing ballerina? I show him one and I Nistra, and it starts to sparkle. It's pretty, yeah? You have a daughter, maybe?
I do not have a family, but I was sent here to see if you might have items to decorate the town for the celebration.
Oh, sir, you are in luck. That's exactly what we sell here. We are the magical ornament trinket shop here, so
Yes, I was recommended it by Mr. Van Hagen.
Oh.
And you haven't interacted with them much, but you've seen them at some functions where your sister has kind of dragged you to. They are a council member. This is Bellis Raythorn. Bellis Raythorn was elected by the Lower Hallows. There aren't that many of the poorer community members on the town council, but they are one of them. And that wheeze and that kind of cough that they have, you know that is from firsthand experience working in the silver mines. Someone who has lived their life earning money.
The old silver lung.
The old silver lung, yeah.
Well, sir, we have plenty of items that would be great for decorations. Take this floating light here. It sparkles and it shines. You can have it say different words if you would like.
The light says different words?
Well, you could arrange a message like, "Congratulations, Brighthallow, 500 years flew by."
I mean, that sounds interesting.
Well, it's one of our more popular items, but if you're looking for something a little bit more unique, I could definitely show it to you. I mean, if you think...
What I'd like, I've been given free rein to spend what I think is far too much money on this, but I do believe that the town deserves a day to celebrate.
All right, you are, sir.
Our future. I would like to have... I don't know, something for everyone. I want to inspire the children of the town to reach for the stars. You know, I want to inspire the youth, even those that go to the high school rather than Brightmoor Academy. I want everyone to feel like they have a future in this town. Do you have anything that might be inspiring?
Well, you see, sir, unfortunately... A lot of our goods are for home decoration, for, you know, the wealthier members of our community to show off to their friends. But perhaps I could talk to Mr. G at the toy shop, and we could arrange maybe a collaboration, something for the kids, and with our magic skill here, maybe with my sister and myself, a new shipment perhaps, we could arrange something that could inspire them.
As you're saying that, you can see that he likes that idea. And I just did a little luck roll at that moment. That's you returning back to your shop, the magical ornaments. You see your brother talking with Bellis Raythorn. You know Bellis Raythorn.
Bellis, what a pleasure to see you in our delightful shop. I hope Tobin's been taking good care of you.
Yes, he recommended that I possibly take the town's funds for the celebration and split it between your shop and the trinkets and toys, which I find an intriguing idea.
Well, anything we can do to support. I'm assuming this is for the large festival, like you say.
Yes, the Harvest Festival and the 500th Centennial.
Well,
Or 5 Centennial.
a big celebration to be sure. Oh, so you're in charge of the festivities, as it were.
I'm just in charge of making it a fun experience. The town has enough going on with the council meeting tonight, and Mayor Sunwood thought that perhaps my unique connections to the Lower Hallows might be useful.
Oh, well, anything we can do to help. out of character, do I know my husband's view on him? Is this guy, he's been given the crap job to keep him out of the way for the big meeting tonight?
Give me a history check.
Or insight, if I'm judging like my husband's like view of him?
Oh, if you insight, I would say would be more of like the present day, like how you feel about what's going on right now.
Okay, sure.
But if you want to know what you might have gleaned from either an investigation or a history check on your past, yeah.
Oh, no, that's an 8.
An 8. As much as you know, Bellis Wraithorn is an enigma to you. They don't seem too eager to chat up and kind of rise up in society in the same way that you might.
Right.
I would say with an 8, there's a strong likelihood that the minute that you figured out where they came from, and that they couldn't really do much for you or your family, the conversation kind of pivoted to another subject.
Right.
This might be the longest conversation you've had with this individual.
Bellis, I do trust in my dear brother's assessment, combination. Let's bring this town together, I feel. For it, we do have, I don't know if we presented a few items. What have you said?
I showed him the floating light that presents words. We also have fountains that change color lights as well. Perhaps, we could project little fireworks into the sky for
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't have a real clear idea of what I want. But I feel like I can trust you to come up with something good. I know your husband cares deeply about this town.
Of course.
I intend to vote and nominate him for that town watch commissioner position he suggested. I believe that he has what's best in our interest. So I trust you.
Sir, may I ask, just so we know kind of what we can deal with here, well, what's your budget here?
The town has granted me from a generous investment and grant from the mining company, the Brightmoor Mining Company, 1,000 gold pieces.
1,000.
All fine. We love Strongbru's contributions. Well, we can certainly work with quite a lot. I also hear talk of an archaeological dig to present a few items.
Yes, that is troublesome. I choose not to partake. I hope they will vote against it.
Well, Bellis, there's only one way to do this right. We have to make sure your decorations steal the show, as it were. Now, we are... of course, you have more in keeping with the people of the lower side than myself. We do have we can order a few specialist items in.
Of course, yeah, we could talk to our suppliers.
Within
we're due a supply.
2 weeks?
Yes, we're due a supply very soon from Whitethorn, I believe.
Now, like you say, we won't bore you with details of the minutiae of what items to get, but what do you want to, in a sentence, tell me, what do you want to say with this festival? What do you want to tell the people?
I want to put our town history, the things that divide us, behind us. I know that Mayor Sunwood wants to celebrate our past, but I believe that we have a greater future, uniting both sides, the Lower Hallows and Bright Gardens together. But of course I am just in charge of the decoration, so I don't have much say.
Bellis, might I be frank with you?
Yes, but I'm Bellis. You can be frank.
So witty. Bellis, and I'm gonna guide him around the shop. I'm assuming there's a little alcove or something within the shop where we have something related to the NWA, and I'm gonna go into a bit of a speech, and this might be a performance or persuasion check or something, following his idea of the brighter future of the town, the coming together, the fact that the people of this town here and now will make this brighter future come. And I'm just trying to hype him up and kind of give like, yes, if only there should be a more kind of grassroots, an organization, NWA.
Roll a performance check. I think this feels a lot like performance. You can have advantage from your brother if he is helping. How would you help?
If there's a poster, I might make it look quite dynamic. What I'll do is I'll say Fleet Doctor, and I'll mage hand the poster off from the wall up right in front of him, so he doesn't have to walk over it. He can just see it right there.
Oh, love it. Yeah, roll with advantage then. Yeah.
So with my performance, that is 24.
They're moved. They're utterly moved with what you're describing, and they kind of turn to you and they say to both of you,
This is a wonderful idea. And I am so excited that you've taken on so many of Mr. Van Hagen's ideas for the town. They presented a near identical pitch to the town council last week of all the things that should be done in the town. I am in awe of such a family that clearly cares about our town.
Well, after many years of marriage, he does know how to listen to me properly, so it's good to see that my ideas are finding fertile soil everywhere. But Bellis, you sell yourself short. This is a chance for you to show your full support and also show that a person of your kind can be the face, the driving force behind this town.
No, not me. I'm very much happy to just participate and help.
Well, you're a Goliath. You are born to stand tall. Let us help you. Anyway, like I say, thank you. You've given us so much information, which is very, very useful. We will put in an order if you will give you the appropriate receipts.
I will give my recommendation that you be given the funds to make this a wonderful day.
Well, thank you, Mr. Raythorn.
I'll let you sort out the some business details with Tobin right now.
Wonderful. As you kind of settle this, Bellis Raythorn leaves the shop and heads out, and you watch them as they leave.
You hear that? 1,000 gold pieces. I mean, could buy so many things. Could finally maybe get out of this town, you know?
If only, dear brother, if only.
Hey, did you get the book I asked for from the library?
Oh, yes. A book on runecraft. This is the Barin fragments. I hope this is useful to you.
Yeah, I'll grab it and take a quick look. I want to skim through to see if there's any runes on stars or what's the word I'm looking for? Star formations.
Constellations, yeah.
Constellations.
That's the one.
See if there's any constellations that might have to do with magical symbols.
By the way, Tobin, Leo hasn't been by here, has he?
No, not recently. It's been pretty slow today. You know, just me and Mr. Raythorn came in just recently before you came in.
Well, with that deal you've just closed, I think you've done very, very well.
Oh, thank
Feel
you.
free to give yourself a bonus from this. If it's the town hall is paying for it, no reason we shouldn't charge them the full
Oh,
price.
that's very kind of you. Thank you.
What was the name of the fellow who came in for the last NWA meeting?
I believe his name was Garrett.
Garrett, right. He works for that toy shop, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Oh, that would be useful for us. I'll go start preparing everything downstairs. Oh, well, do you want to have it downstairs again this time, or...?
Well, I prefer downstairs. I don't want people messing with these items, possibly breaking them. They're quite fragile, and, well, upstairs is, my place. So.
Well, Tobin, a side note for you. The fact that we are going to be involved in these festivities, I think it might be a good grand opening for the NWA if we associate with the festivities. That's something for me to mull over.
You think we're ready for that?
I think we will be by then.
All right. Well, I trust you. You know what's best.
So do you, Tobin. Anyway, I'll go start setting up. If you and I'm just going to go to the bathroom and I'm just going to have a moment of like, that son of a bitch is trying to go for the same thing. Great.
Yeah, your husband clearly has similar designs.
Mm-hmm, of course he does.
Across the way in Mr. G's House of Tinker Toys, it is nearing the end of the workday, and it is time to head out.
Would I have time, because, I'm planning on, going to the NWA meeting, would I have time to either pop over and catch the L&L group to say, hey guys, I'm sorry, or, is there a way for me to send a message to them?
Yes, there is definitely a way. It's common practice, this idea of playing spies. You're not adventurers, so you're pretending to be adventurers, that you can leave a similar message for them ahead of time if you choose, yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe even on my lunch break, I probably would have, walked and, popped one of these notes at the dead drop, expressed my regret at... Of course, it was written in the style in which his character speaks. He's quite a highborn character, so it was written with plenty of pomp, expressing regret that I cannot make tonight's adventure. But perhaps I would rejoin the party again in the future.
Oh yeah. Last time when you first showed up, you chose to wear a rusty set of armor.
Yeah, the ill-fitting studded leather armor that I
you
borrowed,
quote unquote, from
Mr. G. And he's a little bit self-conscious about it. So maybe there's a robe or something I can wear over it. A cloak perhaps.
So that armor is placed in a nice location in the shop. It has its own place along with other kind of items that Mr. G has possibly told you a little bit about before. A certain scroll that might be there and a few other items from his mysterious adventuring life beforehand. How do you remove it? Is this something stealthy, or is this something that, are you waiting for Mr. G to leave the shop?
Absolutely.
Or, yeah.
I say, I'll close up, Mr. G. I always close up. I don't know why I'm saying it.
Sweat.
Give me an insight check or a perception check.
All right, I can finally roll a dice.
Heck
Here
yeah.
we go. Before everyone was rolling the dice, I was like,
Yeah.
dice. What's a natural 16? Perceptions, that's 18.
18. Mr. G has given you a kind of sly look to you, and you notice that he looks at his armor and then looks back to you, but doesn't say anything and heads out. That's as much as you notice.
Oh, he knows.
Burn the shop down and run.
Oh man, did he look disappointed or anything?
You didn't get enough of a read on it to know what's going on with an 18.
Oh, I need to be prepared if I go to the neighborhood watch meeting though, so I'm gonna take it again.
You managed to take your item. You your armor stud. It's older. Can you describe it a little bit?
So I guess the best way to picture it, as we said, this is something that Mr. G would have worn in his past life as an adventurer. To put it into, I guess, real world terms, it's like an old military uniform from like even, First World War or something like that. It looks, it's clearly military, but it's out of place. It's outdated. It looks old. It's not the fashion anymore. It's not the style. There's been improvements on how armor is made. It's hasn't been properly taken care of. So it's a little bit crusty in places. It's well worn. The joints are that's fairly supple, but the leather hasn't been conditioned that well.
Awesome. Yeah.
Of course, it's ill-fitting.
Ill-fitting, yeah. It's definitely not for someone of
he
your
doesn't
build.
have broad shoulders like
yeah.
Mr. G does.
Yeah, you could tell Mr. G used to be quite muscular or fit this armor like a glove, and for you it doesn't. It is getting close to the time for the meeting, but we're going to cut back. We're going to go to the high school with Mr. Hanks.
Yes.
Your day has been, give me one sec. It's been pretty great.
You died.
Yeah. It's been quite an easy day, and it's probably time for you to head home. But give me a perception roll.
There it is.
Hey.
A 1.
A 1?
The first one?
Awesome. Oh, yeah. I love it.
With 2. I get 2.
But 1 is a failure no matter
One
what.
is a one.
Yeah. As you're exiting, you trip. You take 2 points of damage as you slam face first into the cobblestone as you leave the door. Yeah, and you can see clearly on the ground in pain and beaten up pretty aggressively, Francis.
Francis? Francis, what's wrong? Oh, you've got a couple cuts there, Francis.
Mr. Hanks, they hurt me. I tried to be nice. You told me to be nice.
Oh, Francis, you mean Willow Crack did this?
Well, it was mostly, Willow laughed as they did it, but it was mostly Ryan Bonebreaker.
No surprises there.
Oh,
Of the Clifton Bone
when
Breakers.
Willow and Ryan get together, they're a real handful, I tell you. Francis, are you okay?
Give me just an insight or a medicine check.
Oh my god. That would be 19.
19. Yeah, they're really roughed up, but they'll be okay. They have a bloody nose. I've been clearly beaten up pretty
I
aggressively.
take out my handkerchief and I get a little bit damp, and then I wipe some of the blood off of his face, and I look him in the eyes and say, "Hey, you.
Me? Yeah.
It's gonna be okay.
I don't
Times
know
are hard
if
now,
is.
but it gets better. Gets better.
But they said that they were gonna beat me up every day.
Hey, it gets better.
It gets better. Mr. Hanks, you're really uplifting. Give me.
It's not about me. It's about you, Francis. Do you know where Ryan went and Willow?
They said that they'd be back tonight to... I don't know if I should say this.
Come on. It's okay. Francis, it's important to be honest.
You promise you won't tell them that I told you?
I promise. Hey, pinky swear. And I hold out my pinky.
He like goes up to try and pinky swear, but like you can see that his pinky has been broken.
That's okay.
Oh God.
You also probably want to get a doctor to look at that at some point.
I do.
Off you go, buddy. Go find a doctor.
They said they'd be back to put back their art project. They called it. I assume it was the vandalized wall.
Okay. That's fine. Thank you, Francis. I think I know what I have to do now.
And yeah, he's not doing well, but he seems well enough that he could walk.
Can you get home okay, Francis? You want me to walk you home, Francis?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay. I'll just grab my things and lock up and then we'll go.
Yeah, give me an investigation.
12.
Someone has kind of haphazardly pinned up a poster, an NWA poster.
Hold on a second here, Francis. Let me just take a look at this.
Ow!
Just a minute. Hey, it gets better. I take a look at the poster and I say, Neighborhood Watch. This is just what this town needs. And I want to check it out later.
Okay, yeah.
There's any information about.
Yeah, it says that there's a meeting in what looks to be like an hour and a half or so. So you have enough time to kind of help Francis get home. And then head over to the Bright Gardens area.
Okay, Francis, let's take off. I got to get to this meeting later.
We cut back to the Magical Ornaments shop. Everything's set up as you would like for both you, Tobin, and you, Fellerhana. And yeah, we have our first attendee arrives, Garrett Margrave.
Oh, he came back.
I'll be there distractedly, like, with the water canteen we've set up. I'm going to be, like, shaping water as I'm just kind of thinking about what's going to change in this town of that commission. Oh, hello, Garrett.
Hey, guys. Hey, Hannah, Tobin. Hey.
Garrett, welcome back.
Thanks.
We were worried that no one would come back.
I was gonna come back. I think, maybe some more people will come this week.
Oh, well, let's hope so.
Yeah.
I can only hope. How has your week been treating you so far?
Yeah, good. Hey, do we have to do the meetings like this night, like on Wednesdays? You know what? No, it doesn't matter.
Garrett, Garrett, don't be shy.
I mean, I just I've got this thing that I do with my friends on Wednesdays. No, it doesn't matter.
It's important for a young man like yourself to do sports. I totally understand if you need to run around and that. I understand that inclination.
That's what I love doing.
I can
running.
tell.
I'm running legs.
Do you often run in your armor? Because it does look a bit worn.
Yeah.
If you don't mind me saying.
It's been around.
Oh.
If you want, I could clean it up for you. Just
No.
give it a nice shine. Here, let me help.
No, please don't.
Oh.
It's okay. I like it the way it is. He kind of pulls his cloak over it a little bit more. I like it just the way it is.
All right.
It's special to me. Hey, is there any snacks this week?
Yes, of course, just on the side there.
Can I get you a drink?
Good. Yeah.
What do you want?
I want some sweet water.
All right. I get a glass of water for him, and I wave my hand and say Nistra, making it sweet and slightly warm, and I hand it back over to him. And it kind of floats into your hand.
Oh, thanks.
No problem.
As this is happening, as
Tobin's
you're
having a friend.
I'm guessing in the entranceway on the ground floor, as you're probably waiting to welcome people, there is the door leading down to the basement where
it
the
would have a little sign.
organization meets. Mr. Hanks does arrive.
Hey, hello. Hello, anybody here? I saw your flyer.
Oh, down here.
Oh, in the basement?
Yes,
Okay, so I should just come in?
feel free.
Okay, I'm coming in here. I'm coming downstairs. I go downstairs.
Yeah, you go downstairs. As you come in, and just describe what the Neighborhood Watch Association kind of meeting room looks like.
I'm assuming this is the storeroom.
Yeah.
So we would have cleared out a bit to the side. Some chairs around, a little table on the...
Lots of boxes, kind of half open. Some are unopened.
Would have stuck up like on a board somewhere. It's like the town map and just the spare posters just around it because we needed to do something. We had to order 100 of them. As soon as I hear someone coming in, I'm ready. I'm like prim, proper, and ready to greet.
I think we have our own little notice board, kind of replicate what the bar has or the tavern has, where we can have a list of our own jobs or goals. Right now it is empty. But there are lots of pins waiting to pin up pieces of paper or notices of our future adventures and jobs.
You're on a red string by the side, so we can start linking
Just a whole
things.
spool ready to go.
Just so ready, so ready. As yes,
Hannah, it's another member.
one
more than last week.
Calm.
It's catching on.
Hello. Tom Hanks. And I go around the room and I shake everybody's hand.
Mr.
Tom
Mr.
Hanks, nice to meet you.
Pleasure
Yeah.
to meet you.
What are you doing?
Garrett.
Garrett, yeah, Garrett.
What are you doing here?
I'm a part of the NWA.
I always knew you were a good apple, Garrett. You wanna help people.
Yeah.
That's what I told you. I said it's important to help people.
That stuck with me, Mr. Hanks. You said, you gotta help people out and do the right thing.
That's
you
right.
know,
That's right.
When you do things, it gets better.
Just like in the novel by Thomas Eresyn that says, as I assigned to you. You remember Children's Forest?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Children's Part. It was a good one. It was
For the
one
Tobin, have you read that book?
with the trees and saving nature.
Yeah.
And,
Save.
and that reflects society.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like Loose and Anders Leaves, but it's a similar theme. Yeah. Well, anyway, it's great to see you here, Garrett. In fact, you're just the kind of person I need to see. I'm sorry to get. Is there some kind of procedure that we follow here?
Well, Mr. Hanks, you
Like,
seem to practice what you preach.
I mean, I assume all are welcome. And is there an order of business or something like that?
The first order is to say, hello, it's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Hanks.
Hello to you. What's your name again?
Follow Hannah. You can call me Hannah.
Or Hannah. Hannah. Nice to meet you, Hannah.
Mr. Hanks, can I ask where you saw or you heard about us?
100%. But could you just tell me your name first?
My name's Tobin.
Tobin. Nice to meet you there, Tobin.
That's my sister over there.
Hello.
Family affair, huh? Okay, well, I saw this down at the high school.
Oh, Hannah, I told you posters in the lower hollows would work.
They indeed have had an effect. Pleasure to have you here, Mr. Hanks.
A very good effect, in fact, and if you're offering, I'd like to just say why I'm here. We've got some real rapscallions down there at the school, and in fact, I think they're coming back tonight, and I don't really know if this is the kind of thing that you guys do, but I could really use your help maybe checking on that.
You talking about bullies?
Bullies and just general vandals. I mean, they beat up one of my favorite students today. Garrett, do you know Francis McDermott?
Older brother was in my year level.
Oh, yeah. Well, Willow Crack and Ryan Bone. I always forget that boy's last name. Bonebreaker.
Are they still at school?
They're still at school.
And they were there when I started.
And they're getting pretty big, and they really laid into Francis. Broke his pinky finger and everything. And, I heard from Francis that they're coming back tonight to do something. Something, maybe just paint some nasty messages. I spent the whole morning scrubbing them off the wall.
So, sorry, do something at the high school?
At the high school.
Well, sounds like the perfect first job for the neighborhood watch.
I mean, yes, on the south side. Yes.
Yes, that's correct. I mean, I would be so happy if you guys could help out.
And we, of course, would be happy to help. Garrett, Tobin, we don't really have a process yet, but it's good that you brought us such a juicy thing, good deed to do. What do you say, folks? Shall we vote on it? Shall we all in favour?
Aye.
Oh, I?
Yes, good. Nice and loud, Tobin. And yourself, Mr. Hanks?
I'll just throw a big old eye in there for good measure.
Well, that's good to hear. Well, for good measure, let's go do what we can to help.
Oh yeah.
Now, what do you suggest we do when we find these people?
Kill them all.
We gotta stop them. We can maybe stand there and scare them off. Look pretty tough.
Right. Sorry. So
I mean, what do you all normally do when you catch one of your perps, as it were?
Well,
I haven't caught any perps. This is my second meeting, Mr. Hanks.
We often have a procedure to go through. It kind of escalates in scale. We were, of course, more responsive than anything else. But you have reliable intel that they are coming back tonight?
I think it's fairly reliable. I mean, Francis would never lie. And he did tell me to swear not to tell anybody, but I think this is an exception. Make sure that if we deal with him proper, that he'll never get hurt again.
I'll be on a piece of paper, Francis McDorm, and I'll be writing down. This will be good publicity for later. Good, fantastic. Well, if you can show us the way. And so, Garrett, you're familiar with this school?
Yeah, that's where I went to school.
Rough.
Yeah, you both, fellow Hana and you, Tobin, you went to Brightmoor Academy, more prestigious school, smaller classes, but definitely everyone who went there graduated and went to either university or onto bigger and better things.
Well, let us head over there. You two can take the lead since you are familiar with this particular place. Should we be, as the youth say, strapped? Should we be ready for stuff to go down?
I don't know, but it probably couldn't hurt. You never know what kind of trouble you get into. But I wouldn't bring anything too hefty. I mean, they're just kids, right? I mean, they're big, but...
If you're asking, Hannah, if you're wearing jewelry, maybe just like tuck it under your shirt or something.
Oh, I'm not taking any of this to that side of town. No way. I will put it in the... I'm assuming we have a safe somewhere.
Safe, yeah.
I'll put those inside. I won't bring my crossbow.
What?
But, no, what?
Crossbow?
No. Well, you're suitably suited up. I don't know if... like I say, do I need to look ready to throw down?
Well, there's only 2 of them, and there's 4 of us, and, I mean, you all got a pretty imposing jib, if you ask me. I think we can probably just scare them off.
I like the way you talk, Mr. Hanks. Well, Tobin, if you don't mind locking things up here.
Yeah, if you just give me a few minutes, I'll set the alarm and we'll be ready to go.
Alrighty. Gentlemen, our first outing of the NWA. I am elated. Let's go.
I'm happy to be here.
I love it. It
So
takes you...
exciting.
Are you changing or anything, or you're just going in how you're dressed? There's no... How much time are you taking to get ready to go out?
I'm ready to roll.
You're ready to roll.
I think I'm quite excited. So it's kind of antsy, ready to go.
Cool.
I will take off jewelry, store in the safe, everything, including coin purse, because, oh God, you don't want to...
Spend a few minutes
Wow.
setting an alarm on
Yep.
the front door.
Heck yeah.
I mean, it's, scary.
Yeah.
The people there, they have wants and needs. It's terrifying.
It takes you some time to get to the school, not too long, but it is a bit. It's across town. By the time you arrive, it's closer to 7:45, 8 around that time. You do have that dinner coming up, so it might be late. How are you rolling up to the school?
Mr. Hanks, how do we roll up on your school?
Well, if I understand your youthful lingo there,
I'm
I
rather
believe
with it.
we roll up with our tires flat, as it is, awfully quietly. We don't want to spook them. We want to catch them by surprise in the act.
I'm assuming a tire is something from this side of town, but I'll take your word for it. Let's go for it. All right.
Then what I need from everyone, very exciting, I need a group stealth check. They'll notice you if the average is below what I'm going to roll for perception for the people there.
I got a 15.
I got a 14.
I got a 6.
I got 11.
Okay, go. Wonderful. You're heading up to the school. It is nighttime. I will say, as you cross the boundary row, the street that separates Bright Gardens, the old Brightmoor city, and you cross into Lower Hallow, what is and was Golden Hallows, the older, poorer community that was neighboring to Brightmoor, it is very noticeable that the quality of the buildings, the upkeep just kind of goes down the further you get away from the main streets, the further you get away from the more wealthy. And the amount of town guard that you see, virtually none by the time you get to the high school. This is a rough area. You do pass the Iron Yak, a very popular establishment, and you hear a lot of singing. People singing mining songs. That's where most of the people who mine. Yeah.
Mining town.
Exactly.
That's a classic. I love that one.
that song that they sing, Yo Ho Ho, Mining Town. And in that area, you do see a lot of movement, but as you get closer to the high school, it gets much quieter. As you approach the side area of the high school, I just need an investigation check as well. One of you, whoever is leading the group, who knows this area the best, who thinks that they know the best way to approach.
Yeah, I think that would be me.
Go for it.
So that's a 13 investigation.
Love it. It takes you a little bit longer because you're kind of going around, you're trying to find the way, but it's, things have changed a little bit in the past few years in terms of what doors are locked and stuff like that. But as you get to the back side of the building, you hear some noise in the background, and it just sounds like a bunch of kids like, yeah, that's great. Yeah, do that. No, yeah. All just kind of joking and laughing around. And as you approach, you hear like, shh, shut up. I heard something. Everybody shut up.
shut your stupid faces. I'm not gonna get caught, okay? And they are silent. It is dark here. How many of you have dark vision?
I do.
I do.
Cool.
Nope.
No? Okay, so there are no lamps on the back of this building. For those of you with dark vision, you can see clearly as you're kind of like around the kind of corner. I don't know if you've rounded the corner itself of the building to be seen in a position that you can be seen, but you can all clearly hear it's now silent. There's a corner of the building as you get to the side, but yeah, those of you who can't see, at this point it's quite dark, it's dim, so you can kind of see a little bit, but you'll be at disadvantage if anything goes down without a light.
Can I very quietly whisper Falskbild, and I create the sound of a mouse scurrying down the hallway?
Cool. Yeah, I guess. As you do that, you're like, oh no, everybody, it's cool, okay? Because it was a mouse or something, so it's all cool. So it's all chill.
Can perception check to see if I can get roughly how many people are there?
Yeah, roll. Go for it.
That's a nat one.
Leaning over.
We have to fight our way out.
I'll say this: the exhilaration of like, this is it. This is your first ever thing, and you're not good at this.
Nope.
You're not very perceptive. You know it's at least one.
Mr. Hanks, they might listen to you. You're a teacher here.
You've got a good point, Garrett. People do listen to me.
We should go.
I think I need to step out there and confront them.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, these guys are bullies. I'd be careful.
Well, let's do this. You, Garrett, is there a way to sneak around to the other side?
Yeah.
Okay, how about this? Can one of you stay back here around this corner behind me? I'll step out and I'll talk to him, and the other two of you sneak around to the other side, just in case anything, goes bananas.
Yeah, sure. I could sneak to the other side.
Yeah. Tobin, come this way.
I can
have your
guide you. I
back.
can see in the dark.
Yeah, thanks.
I love it. You know roughly how long it might take to get around, but you haven't established any way to communicate when you're on the other side, and so you're kind of hanging out there for a while.
Well, it normally takes me about 5 to 10 minutes to walk around the other side of the school. I assume they're a little bit amped up, so let's err on the side of 5.
I'll check, don't worry. As I'm going to use my telepathic speech to speak to my brother Tobin. Are you there yet?
Are we there?
Yeah, you'll be there. Give me stealth checks from you two as a group.
8.
21.
Okay, cool.
He can't say anything, but he's disappeared.
Cool.
It's my school, man. I know these hallways.
Yeah, you send that message.
We're in position.
You
Okay.
are go, Mr. Hanks.
All right, I'm going to step out and confront them.
Kill them all.
In like the dark that you can't quite see that well with. Yeah.
You light a torch?
So
You have torches if you want. Yeah.
a question?
Yeah, yeah,
About
yeah.
the equipment that I
Yeah,
have?
yeah.
Okay, so can I have some things, but
Okay.
I don't know if I actually have
So
them or not.
okay, so for everyone who's listening to this, we're attempting to believe that these characters are normal townspeople, for lack of a better term, with some classes. Everyone has chosen their class. At the same time, heading over to this meeting, I would assume, and we're gonna kind of err on that kind of caution, that Tobin and Fellerhana had equipped with things that might be of use, like torches and stuff. You're not going into this venture without giving things that might be useful. You know that there are people that need torches. So the idea that you have tinder and a torch and stuff like that, you can light it. One of your hands will be occupied with that if you're holding a torch. So just be aware of that mechanically.
Okay, I'll take the torch.
Yeah, as you illuminate the torch, immediately the laughter stops and they're like, hey, shh. I knew it wasn't a stupid mouse, you idiot. God, Willow, you're so dumb.
Now hold it right there, Willow.
As that happens, you hear, wait a minute, dude, is that Mr. Hanks? What are you doing, man?
Willow, are you
Are you-
causing vandalism on? Yes, and I step out in my most professorial way.
Just you,
Yeah, just me by myself.
with your torch. Sorry, just love the idea. You step out with your torch. You can see very clearly. You see Willowcrack, another student who's a female human, Laura Dumiel, and Ryan Bonebreaker, this male half-orc who has like tattoos, but they're really bad tattoos, just like clearly cheap or hand-done tattoos. As they look at you, and Willowcrack clearly is a leader, and you can see, just even passively, you see that they're using paint to paint the wall, and they're painting up different things on the wall. But yeah.
What are you painting there, Willow?
Mr. Hanks, like, no offense, but why would we even care? You're just such a joke. No one listens to you, dude. Like, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna hold me back another year? I'll go for year 5. I don't care.
man. And they all laugh with Willow Crack.
He's actually on year 9, but he just can't count.
Pretty funny, isn't it, Willow? Funny to deface the school, the institution of learning? You think that's funny, huh? You kids think it's a real gas, huh?
Yeah, we all find it really funny because like every day we do it, the principal and now I guess you and that dumb little nerd that we beat up, they have to clean it up. It's pretty funny.
And what nerd would that be, Willow?
I don't know. It's
Francis McDermott. Okay, listen. Can I tell? How big are these people?
I mean, they're teenagers. Okay, they're in their. I guess now they're in their late teens. They're like 19 or so. The half orc is the largest of them all.
And can I see
they're fairly muscular? Yeah.
What they've written on the wall?
Yes, you can. Give me just a investigation. That's fine because it's more of just actively kind of looking.
8.
It's tough, man. I think the most you can see is that each one of them were doing their own kind of dumb idiot thing. You can clearly see with an 8, Ryan tried to write sucks, S-U-X-S, because he thought that the S was necessary.
Okay, here's what's going to happen, you guys. You're going to come with me. We're going to get some soap. You're going to clean this up right now.
Oh, yeah. And Willow kind of like turns to you. I have another idea. You're going to get the fuck out of here, or we're just gonna beat you up. How about that?
Oh, we're using big words now, huh? Well, I'm telling you, I'm not going anywhere, young man.
Roll for intimidation. I'm gonna say straight up, you need above a 25.
I just rolled a 20.
Natural 20? Oh shit. Okay. All right. Hell yeah. Mr. Hanks, for a brief second there, you look pretty scary. Like, do you work out? You got this kind of anger in you.
Well, anger is not something that I think is, it should come out. I check myself, as it were.
Mr. Hanks, we have to finish.
Well, I appreciate your dedication, Willow. I wish you would apply it in other ways, but you're going to have to stop, or I'm going to have to stop you.
Okay, with a nat 20, there's a part of this kid that's going to tell you something that he didn't want to tell you. So there's a part of him where he's saying, if I don't do this, it was supposed to be 10 nights in a row. If I don't do this tonight, then I want to be part of the Gray Hand, man. And then I could just leave school, dude. Like, we can all leave school, all right?
Listen, you can leave school when you graduate, young man. You can have a bright future. You don't need to get wrapped up in, what did you call, Gray Hand? What is that?
And then you see Laura Dumiel, the girl with like buzzed hair. She's like, "You dumbass! Freaking idiot, Willow! You're not supposed to talk about it. Ugh! What's Pith gonna say? They're probably gonna like screw you over, dude. Like, what? You're such an idiot!" As they fight amongst each other, arguing. What are the rest of you doing?
I will be writing out Grey Hand. Oh,
Just,
telepathically.
I think listening from the side, ready to maybe jump in and do something.
At some point, Willow kind of steps up and just kind of like snaps their hand. You know what I mean? Just like,
No,
shut
West
up!
Side Story, bad guys.
Everyone, be quiet. All right? Like, it's all gonna be fine. Like, the only person we told was Mr. Hanks, right? And like, he's not gonna tell anyone, right, Mr. Hanks?
Listen, if you kids promise that you're gonna straighten up and fly right, and you graduate finally, then your secret's safe with me. But listen, you don't want to be messing around in this. It all sounds very spooky stuff to me. In fact, I think you need to tell me who this Pith person is, and I'm gonna look into this.
Look, Mr. Hanks, no offense, but like, this is your chance to get out of here, because it was my bad. I'm totally going to accept responsibility for the fact that I mentioned things that I really shouldn't have done. There was just a part of you that freaked me out a little bit, but you can't walk around with knowledge of, the Gray Hand. So like, you guys swear to me that you're not going to tell anyone and get the fuck out. That's what you got to do, because we got to finish what we're going to do. Otherwise, you're not going to make it to tomorrow.
This is all very stunning information, but I'm afraid, Willow, that's just not gonna be the way that it goes. And I reach forward and I try to take the paint that they have away from them.
We're like lined up outside, SWAT team ready to go. He's having a lovely conversation.
Roll for initiative. Everybody.
Oh dear.
Well, there you have it. The party has come together. Initiative has been rolled. Can the Neighborhood Watch stop Willowcrack and their gang of misfits? And what's up with the Grey Hand? Find out in What's My Role, Episode 1, Part 2. What's My Role is a proud member of the Arcane Focus Network. Don't forget to subscribe and rate us wherever podcasts are downloaded. It really does help. And be sure to tell your friends about What's My Role. See you next time.